got the sauce. Alright, y'all, listen up. I received a comment recently if I can upload a video on beginner combinations. Now, honestly, this far into UFC 4's lifeline, combinations are key to W's, but there are a lot of other key factors that play into your boxing being efficient or aesthetically pleasing to watch. First thing to understand is the majority of characters on this game have the same punch, kick animations, but let's focus on the punches right now. Besides a couple characters who have signature punch animations, everyone punches the same, so it's best to master distance and your ego before worrying about combinations. I'll explain both things shortly. I have two full fights I'm going to display today, and as usual, I'll trim out the boring parts, but I will explain my mindset throughout both fights to give an understanding on how to box in UFC 4. Once again, y'all leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Now let me shut the hell up and put y'all on. This is a perfect example. In this fight, I'm using Leon Edwards against a Kobe Covington who obviously wants to take me down and work on the mat. So even in a situation like this, your boxing won't be as effective if you're worrying about the takedown instead of pace, rhythm, and most importantly, your ego. Now, let me explain. When it comes to an exchange, meaning you and the opponent meet each other with strikes, you shouldn't just be striking. You should also be picking up or reading their rhythm and speed of their punches. The intricacy, meaning high, low, or low, high, ending with a hook or starting with a hook, starting with something not a pipe like a jab or a cross, or etc. Overall, you should be reading your opponent's punches, making it easier to judge when to go or back up, and also what punches to counter. So you can see here that it's pretty difficult to get going on someone who has another game plan other than just striking, which is why I encourage my viewers to learn grappling to an amateur extent to be able to discourage wrestlers or non-strikers, who are majority of the top players in the world. With that being said, I can't just wing any random punch with this guy. If I whiff, I'm only increasing his grapple advantage to take me down, so that means I have to start picking my shots carefully. This Kobe style is similar to the actual Kobe. He wants to stay in a range where I feel his presence unless he's setting up takedowns. So you have to ask yourself, how is he setting them up? I can see he's using that 1-2 enough, relying on a hit reaction and hopefully get an easier takedown. So automatically footsies or distance correction should be consistent throughout the entire fight, or he'll always be comfy enough to shoot when he pleases. Now my goal is to strike with this man, but I can't do that until I discourage him or start honing in on my counters, then forcing him to shoot a takedown on my terms, not his, which all in all leads to combinations. I hope I explained that as best as I possibly can. Y'all keep watching. Now, even though this particular viewer asked for a boxing combinations video, unless you have a character with great boxing, this is still MMA. You need to have more than just hands inside your arsenal in order to have success with your boxing. If I had a character like Nate Diaz and maybe Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway, yeah, it'd be easier to box with them, but even using those characters, you have to understand everything we just went over in order to have success with them, especially against high-level players. So now it's round two. We have this Kobe shooting takedowns on our accord now because of that jab inside his face, forcing him to rush his game plan, leading him to overextending and getting countered. He tried to shoot the takedown, we deny him, tries to hit us back, and that leads to a pull counter. So this is what I kind of mean about mixing it all up and being able to recognize when your opponent is trying to switch up their game plan. Now, it's obvious he doesn't have much inside his arsenal as far as striking, so takedowns are still his plan. But every time we hit the floor, we make it an initiative to show him that we can also grapple and don't mind touching that floor. It's almost like a Uno reverse, and it leaves him desperate on his feet, usually leading to his demise. Keep watching. So you can see our strikes are pinning him down, forcing him backwards where we force a takedown out of him, denying it, leaving him vulnerable on the exit of the clinch. Now that his stamina is starting to tax from being drained in our body investment, his Hail Marys or desperate strikes start to come out, again leaving him open for hard counters. So the reason I showed the first fight was to display boxing, or what I just call high-level MMA against a grappler. Now I'll show straight-up striking. It's still MMA, but a fight where we both looking to stand. I'm going to explain as best as I can in terms of pace, rhythm, and ego fighting. So right away, it's clear this player is skilled and has enough in his arsenal for me to start paying attention, even though you should treat every opponent like this. He's block countering body shots and using that unique frame to exit the pocket. This dude knows what he's doing. So it's another situation of where you have to watch what you throw. But most importantly, watch what he throws. Not only are you watching what he throws, but you're also watching for when he throws it and why he throws it. And this goes for any strike that he offers. So right here, he's doing his best to fight off the back foot. He knows trading with Connor early could be bad if he doesn't stay defensively responsible. So he's using the octagon to his advantage. In order to have him still or stagnant enough for your combos to start flowing, we need to mitigate that movement. We also need to punish his jab, which he uses to lead most of his combinations. Once he starts checking kicks or starts punishing my slip, I continue the same pace until he gives me a different look. Now you have to remember, if he's consistently on the back foot, it means you're usually the person going forward first. So always be ready to take the necessary backup in order for your opponent to whip shots and potentially attack them while their short-term stamina is low. The opponent will usually feel your pressure and start overthrowing, hoping for room to set up shots. So right here, I'm advancing with caution to his jab or cross, and again backing up when I need to in order to restart my combination. I'm also not headhunting in order to make my feints on the outside effective. So as we move forward, we increase our shot selection in order to keep him guessing. We're using our feet to guide our hands or vice versa. And you will see eventually he'll throw in hope in order to back us up. It's up to you to know when you're actually in danger and have room to keep working. It's all about pace. If he tags you cleanly, drop your pride and ego and treat your character with respect. Back up and try to find the range instead of forcing it like the opponent. Now, as we get into the second round, I had his pace, rhythm, and his overall number to this fight. So we continue to work keeping in mind everything we just talked about. So I want y'all to continue watching and hope y'all enjoy this tutorial video. Once again, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If y'all want more tutorial type of videos, just comment or reach out on socials for one-on-one sessions. Peace.